Deal sourcing intensive, final day. The last part of the 6 weeks course. We have 6 modules in 6 weeks where I teach you to become the best deal sourcer in the UK. I give you all the information, all the knowledge you need, but then I take it to that whole next level, which nobody else in this country does. I bring all of the students to a live property. I get them to break down a deal live whilst I'm here, giving them all the information that they need all over again that they've learned in the last 6 weeks. And I take them to another property where it's completely finished and done up to a 10 out of 10 standard. Guys, there's levels, and then there's my level.
First thoughts, definitely back to brick.
Remove the chimney breast.
Remove chimney breast. Windows are not too bad actually. Windows are not too bad. Let me open one, double check. Yeah, that's alright, it's not too bad. I think the more you do it, the better you get.
Yeah, try to implement everything that we've learned over the last 6 weeks. Put that into practice.
Yeah, really good, mate. Obviously, it's good to have a walk round and have a chat to all the other people on the course. Also, it's good to see a property sold run down in an area like this. It's good to just work together, pricing up and kind of singing off the same sheet, which is it's obviously good to know.
We're doing this crazy exercise, going to the house. Andrew's under pressure to get it right. I'm here to support him.
Brickwork's the main one. I mean, obviously they've rendered this, or attempted to, and it's peeling off. It's just, you're just seeing damages. It's like Frankenstein. It's just horrendous underneath, and which is highlighting major problems with the property, the outside of the property, same as with the guttering. It's just one thing after another, like a daisy chain of problems.
So I'm watching the groups as they move around, 6 groups of 2, and I'm spotting a lot of things that I talked about where people are actually paying attention to. So one of the big things was, Phil did record it, but he can't put it in because of the owner and X, Y and Z and what's going on. This here, so this is a steel, hopefully it's a steel and it's not a piece of timber, which is separating the 2 rooms. It's a load bearing wall, so that's been put in. And we need to find out whether we have the building sign off for it. Do we have structural calculations for it? Do we not? Do we have it? I don't know. The floor's sagging, there's a problem. The timber underneath, there's a problem. It's there. And then we also have this. We have a leak. And I can hear it. So where it's coming from? The boiler has been fixed by the correct people with brown tape. We're good to go. Holding it together. But all in all, I'm hearing some really good conversations. They're mentioning asbestos reports. They're mentioning architects. They're mentioning structural engineers. They're talking about structural issues such as the flooring, the beam that's been fitted, whether it's steel or timber, we don't know. They are actually paying attention to certain things. Someone mentioned to me there's a leak upstairs, that's why the roof's like that. It shows that the 6 weeks worth of intensive training that they've done all leads down to this knowledge, and it's making me very happy to see it. I'm quite proud that this is actually happening.
Imagine if that falls down and a kid dies in here, or an adult, someone dies. That's a structural alteration in a property that when you're sourcing to sell this to an investor, you need to spot there and go, do we have the sign off for that?
But if it's steel and it drops on somebody's head, it's going to be the same outcome.
But if someone dies and it's steel and it's been signed off by a building inspector, it's got nothing to do with the owner.
Okay.
But if the owner buys it and doesn't have the right stuff for it, it falls with the person that you sell the deal to.
Okay. And would the agents have that information, like building stuff?
But they can get it from the owner.
Okay.
They can call up the owner and say, you've had a wall knocked out. Do you have the building sign off for it? Do you have the structural calculations? If they've done it correctly, they should have everything.
Okay, and if they turn around like, oh mate, that was the guy before me.
Well, we need to get a structural engineer in here to actually knock that bit out and check what's in there and then get it signed off. So that'll be added to the cost of the new person that you're sourcing the property for.
I'm quite surprised with this house and the rental, but I think the capital appreciation after we work out the costs is going to really stack up. But I'm slightly skewed towards a mid-level refurb.
Honestly, the amount of work that you've got to do in this property compared to how much like the end value is going to be, probably not worth it. For somebody to do this in real life, it would probably be best to just DIY most of it and just patch up and fix. But that is not the way Steve does things. So we've been told, do everything by the books, do everything as if you're renovating a nice middle class house, see how much it's going to come up to, and then later on we are going to all come together and compare refurb costs. So stay tuned for that.
Right, so we have a damp issue in the house, and you're going to resolve it, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're going to tell us how bad it is.
Basically, if you see the backboard, if it's damp like that, then obviously you can see that the wall. So I'm just going to stick this in. 13%.
So do you know what the limit is?
About 20.
Okay, so do you think it's bad or do you think it's good?
It's not bad, but it's I think it's just I think it's a rising damp issue.
You think it's a rising damp issue?
Because if you check the skirting board,
Yeah.
if I stick this here, can you see?
Yep.
It's 40, something like that.
Let me give you a little example of damp. What's it coming out in the chimney breast?
15, 14.
Okay, so anything between 12 and 15% is it's not great, but it's all right. Anything above 16% is usually considered as damp. And then obviously you can imagine from 16% above, that's the severity. Anything really below 15, 12 and 15, there's damp there, but it doesn't actually technically get classed as damp. So it's 16 and above is what most builders will put it at. So that's where you set it out. So if you stick that thing into a wall and it starts flashing 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you know you've got a problem. Okay? So you should all have one of those as a saucer just on hand when you're out and about, so you can check the severity of what's going on when you see anything like that, like rising damp or ingress or anything like that. Okay? I think he's found one, and I think they're about 20, 25 quid. But I think that all of you guys in here should have one. Okay? Everyone finished now then? Everyone happy? Okay, we're going to go through it at lunch. Manchester, my Property Accelerator is back. 10 a.m. till 5 p.m, a full day of property training. Every strategy that I have done to get to where I am today. Do you want to escape your 9 to 5? Do you want to create that financial freedom? Well, this will be the best £11 you have ever spent.
Learned a few more things off Steve that maybe I wouldn't have learnt in the refurb cost sheet. So kind of damp issues, rising damp issues, the percentages that damp comes in. Got a refurb cost now. We're at another one of Steve's projects, and then we're going to break down the refurb cost at dinner.
It's quite eye-opener. Learned a lot. Everything that we practice in the course, put into play. So yeah, it's quite productive.
First viewing was good. Lots of great energy, loads of knowledge learnt, loads of questions asked. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Really insightful. Now we're just here at one of Steve's completed houses, and we're gonna get some insight into that one now too.
So guys, you've all just been to a property that you have all gone and done your due diligence on yourselves, okay? Now, we're going for lunch, and we're going to talk about your numbers whilst we're having lunch, okay? I want to know these things. Now, this is going to see how many of you have actually put yourselves out there. Who did comparables on the street and actually knew what the end values of the properties around there were? Okay? So remember, if you didn't do it, make a note, because it's something you should have done. Who actually walked up and down the street and had a look at the surrounding areas? Okay, smart. Who actually got the square footage of the property? Okay, good. Who really went deep and started to look at all the problems in the property and made a full list of what they think were the problems? Okay, well, we're about to find out. So when you go for lunch, I need you to sit next to your team members. You can write out what you want while we're eating, and then when we start talking, the documents have to be on the tables and your hands have to be down the side. You can't add stuff when you hear other people say it while we're at dinner, okay? Because you're only cheating yourselves. This property right now, I just want you to see what a finished product looks like, a finished project. Because you've probably been to a few people's houses and they say it's been done. No, this is how you do a property. Now there is snags, there is things that you want to pull up on, like the gap on the flooring over there, the crack in the windowsill, but that's over time because of heating. There's nothing I can do there. the gap in the door frame there. I don't know whether any of you all saw it, but this was driving me insane. That. I want it tighter. Can you see?
I feel like the floor is
uneven.
level.
Okay. Well, this was self-leveled.
Okay.
So underneath here is self-leveling.
Okay.
So if that can't level out and get it straight, a human being's not going to be able to do it. Okay. So the whole floor was self-leveled. There's a couple of tiles that I don't like that have been fitted here. I don't like the banister on the stairs. I don't like the colour of the carpet upstairs. I'm not keen on the colour of the tiles in the bathroom. Yeah, it's just, these are things, but this is what you've got to spot. These are the things that you've got to get rectified. This is how you do your due diligence when you become a project manager, or in all of your cases, you all want to get into development. So you've got to start paying attention and being a little bit more open-minded to certain things.
Unbelievable.
And he's 18.
Wow.
Well, yeah, 18 years old. Chris, unbelievable. Like, I swear to God, that is why we created what we created. Unbelievable. So 18, 6 weeks, you've learned everything and you've just literally delivered it in a way that you would think you've been doing it for like fucking years. There's levels, everything, comparables, end values, exit strategies, all the fees, what you leave in, buy, refurbish, refinance, rent, even down to the breakdown of numbers. I'm blown away. I think that was the best thing. That's the best delivery I've ever had since we've done the property circle, from somebody who's brand new.
Yeah.
So incredible. You was nervous, weren't you?
Yeah.
Could tell, because your feet are tap dancing. But that'll come. That natural confidence will come. Chris, your confidence has gone through the roof since I met you. Would you have imagined when you first met me that you'd be able to stand up and speak like that?
Nah, I don't like that shit.
You don't, yeah?
No.
But you smashed it?
Well done.
Absolutely, you two so far stand out. And even just stand out from everything we've ever done, even on stage performances when people have got up and spoke. That is the best I've ever seen.
Let's end the day, okay? Tina, there you go. That's for you.
Wow.
That's yours.
Wow.
How cool is that, eh?
Nice.
Right, and yours is here somewhere. Who's took? There you go. So, right, we've ended the whole of the 6 weeks now. Now, you guys are going to hopefully go on to source properties. That's the plan. That's what the whole point of the 6 weeks intensive is. But the 6 weeks intensive doesn't actually end just like this. It's not like, go on then, on your way, see you later. We still have the group set up in the app, group 3, which is you guys. We expect you guys to maybe work together to help each other, to see how well you do. You've got yourself a nice little trophy, you've had some food, you've had a bit of a laugh and a joke, but the knowledge is the most important thing that you use to go out and actually get the money you want to get. So stick together, stay as the group. I think days like today are probably really important, because when you're behind a screen, it's quite difficult to gauge people's personas, but now you've all spent the whole day together, you can see how relaxed you are, how much more comfortable you feel. So I think it's important that you guys stay together. So I'm hoping that as we progress down the path and we, implement more stuff like today with the outsourced viewing, going down to that property and actually breaking it down, I think that's a real nice touch. Going to see an end value, I think that's really important. Standing up presenting in front of the group, I think that's really important. So I think as it progresses and I add more things in going through, hopefully each group takes one person, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and eventually everybody wants to take action, basically. I've really, really enjoyed it. I think you've all got a really bright future. And I hope you like your trophies, because they are pretty cool. Place them on your mantelpiece with pride, because you deserve them, all of you. Great, great, great 6 weeks. So thank you.
I think this is the best course I've ever done in my life. I've been trying to get into property for 6 years now and been having a lot of trouble trying to do this, finding information, not having enough money, and Steve and the team have basically given me the blueprint to be successful in property. So I recommend everyone do the deal sourcing course.
I found it amazing. From start to finish, how to find a deal, all the due diligence you need to do, down to investors and selling the deal. Steve's covered everything, gave us the blueprint of how to do it. and I'm feeling very equipped with all the skills now. From week 1, my confidence has grown now and my knowledge has grown massively, so I feel I've got the confidence to go out there and sell some deals now.
So this 6 weeks was definitely intensive. I learned a lot from week 1 to week 6. I've implemented everything on this last day, so I definitely recommend this to anyone.
You don't get one of these for nothing. No, it's a really nice gesture from Steve, but he went above and beyond for us to learn in this 6 weeks, and he gave us all the blueprints and all the education we needed. We just need to go out there and prove that we can do it, and yeah, come back in 2 months and I'll probably have some deals for you.
So there you have it, guys. Group 3 of the Deal Sourcing Intensive is complete. The 6-week program. Group 1, amazing. Group 2, incredible. Group 3, exceptional. I make it better and better and better every time. There is nobody in the UK doing what I am doing, and that is a guaranteed fact. If you want to sign up to the Deal Sourcing Intensive, it starts tomorrow, December the 9th, 6 weeks. Get ready for 2025, change your life. The link is in the description below. But right now, I have a room full of excited people. They are all absolutely buzzing and ready to go and smash their dreams. And I made that happen.